Yo. Oh man. Yeah, it's been a bit. This mic is really loud. I didn't expect it to spike my eardrums like this, but I just take out one earphone as I usually did. Okay. Yeah, it's been hectic. I made a comic. Yeah, I made a comic. Hold on, let me change my screen. I should probably show it to the comic. I made a comic for my art school, and I didn't have much time to do anything. Doodle to Live Again, I had to uphold it for a week, and then I didn't do it for a whole week, and now I'm thinking, okay, I need to get back to it. Okay, now let me just hold on. I just need to put up the comic that I made. It's been a bit tricky because I tried changing up some. Wait, is this loud? The music? I don't know. But I tried changing up some stuff for my laptop. So I tried making like a, what do you call this? Like an account for work stuff and an account for like whenever I want to play games or something, or I don't know, like I don't do much. I just do like fun, the fun stuff. Okay, let me show you the comic very quickly. So the music, I just discovered that song. It sounds really good. Oh damn it. So it's the wrong version. Hold on, let me just let me pick up the real version. Then add the one that had text. I'm not sure where I put it. I think it's on my, I hope it's not on my hard drive. It should be in my comic folder somewhere. It has to be there, hopefully. Is it the PDF? Yes. Thought about making a French version, but I got so tired I just thought, whatever. I'm just gonna, I suppose I'll take the risk. Let me put it on the other, damn it. Let me put it on the other screen. Where is it? Tablet, okay. Yeah. So here it is. I made this comic. I had to make it as a kind of test or whatever in order to sign in to my school and get an interview and whatnot. Speaking of which, I get my response on the 27th this month, which is in a very long time because although I submitted my portfolio like last week, so it's been tricky. Even last week I had a lot of stuff to do, so it wasn't very easy. Even now, well, it's been calming a little bit. It's been alright, let's say. Which is why I'm trying to stream right now. But yeah, anyway, I made this comic, and I made two drawings that I'm gonna show too. It's a comic that I made based on the fact that at my art school I spent a lot of time with my classmates and whatnot, and I've been having a lot of fun. There have never been many stressful times. Granted, sometimes I would feel like, I don't know, like self-conscious about some things, but it doesn't change the fact that I've been having a great time. And that's why the God, I can't talk. The issue, it's not really an issue, but the reality in this time that I'm spending right now is that it will soon end. And this is what I inspired myself. This is what I based my comic on. The fact that I'll be gone soon, and I will have these memories that I saved on my 3DS those videos, those random videos that I filmed, all the random pictures that I took, all these digital memories just stored on my SD card of my 3DS. They will live on, but I don't think that they will. It won't be the same. Maybe I will meet incredible people and we will have the same. I wouldn't say the same, but I will kind of try to get close to them and whatnot. But the reality is, the joy that I'm having now, in a year or so, or maybe in like 6 months or whatever, at least when this year ends, it won't be the same. Just as how we didn't know each other at the beginning of the year, and things were a bit awkward, and I didn't talk to some people in my class or the whole year and whatever. That time passed as well. This too shall pass. It's just bound to happen, and I think it's something that intrigues me because I think it's been only recently since I've been contemplating about this, the fact that I'll be gone soon and I won't stay at the same school, and people will go from left and right to every hemisphere available. Some will stay, some will go. Maybe some will go and we'll meet each other again, but we're not in a group anymore, and that's what I think is pretty sad. And yeah, but that's life, So this is what I based it on, the fact that we will all be gone soon. And in a way, it really reminds me of needing to cherish the time that we still have left before we all go. And when I say this, it sounds really depressing in the sense of like as if somebody was about to die. When I thought about it, when I thought about how nearly dramatic it sounds, it's almost like it gave me the idea of perceiving this almost as a memento mori, which is like the reminder. I think it's in Latin. It's a reminder of your inevitable death. Hold on, let me change the music. I forgot I didn't add a playlist. I was about to put a song on, but it's copyrighted, so I won't put it on. That song before sounded really great. Let's go to the basics. I just wanna add. Yeah, here it is. Is it? I don't know. Okay, I changed the song. I like this one, Burgundy Flats. Okay. Okay, let me go back. So yeah, this is essentially like a memento mori. This is a memento mori, essentially, in the most exaggerated way possible. Simply based on the memories that that are stored somewhere that we can get access to, but we can't live again. And it's sad in a way, but I think that in a way it's also beautiful to keep it, like to represent it through, I don't know, like a comic. I think in a way it's important to preserve these things one way or another. It's one thing to preserve these things on the 3DS, but I think it's great. It's also great to put emphasis on these things, and I did it prematurely as well. I'm like more than halfway through that. Through this year, I already passed the first semester, and tomorrow people are going to submit their portfolios to my art school. I mean, it's like I'm basically in a preparatory year, won't go into detail. But yeah. So I've been, yeah, okay, let me read it. So right here I wrote, "We miss you." This was like an image that was just staying on my mind all the time whenever I was thinking about what I was gonna do. I thought about a lot of things. I don't remember what kind of ideas I used to have. I did try to make something like imaginary, like in a yume kind of way, but I thought in a week I won't get the ideas that I would love to have, to make them coherent enough in a topic that I have yet to explore. So, but I kept this. I kept this. So I wrote, oh yeah, the okay, everything aside from this is entirely quoted from the library section from yume that I found. There was like an entry where somebody wrote this whole thing, and I guess I'm not sure if this is if you can actually do that, but I kind of reappropriated it based on my context. So I wrote, "How much time passed since you went away? I have spent an immeasurable time in that cramped, pitch-black husk. No one's voice or hand or warmth or coldness or consciousness or light or gaze reach where I am. All the things you gave me have turned into colorless ash. Someday I too will become that. Someday I will become that." So this feels, I mean, going back to the whole memento mori thing, when I discovered that quote, I thought it was really impactful, like it was heavy. And now that I've used it for my own thing, I think it puts a lot of emphasis into this exaggeration of perceiving, parting distances, and parting, I don't know, like friendships and bonds in the form of as if like somebody just died, of a memento mori. I think that the quotes really put a lot of emphasis into that, especially what it says, like, all the things you gave me have turned into colorless ash. I think that's pretty interesting. I like this a lot. I like it really. Yeah, but let me continue. I'll probably have some more stuff to say, but and when it comes to the drawings, the panels and stuff, because they may seem a bit random, but to an extent they do have some significance. Then you have this. It says, "But I am not afraid if I can go to where you are. I am not afraid. Soon I can go to where you are." Simple as that. Just 2 pages. It's just 2 pages. But it took some time. I took the whole weekend to work on this, because for one, this was my first comic in years, like since I was like 13 or 14 that I have made. It was not easy. I was not used to this, and I thought when I was making this, I thought I needed to make some compromises. So one thing that really saved me was to draw a lot of, what was it again? Like take pictures. My strategy was, my compromise was to use a solution to the compromise rather was to use pictures that I already had, whether it was on my 3DS or researches that I did, especially on Google Earth, that I just put on top and traced over, and then kind of contorted them, like used them to my own will in order to change them up a little and to really adjust them to the context of the comic. I even went on Sketchfab to sketch some things, That's when I realized how important it is to use these kinds of resources to your advantage when time is on a crutch. And right now, maybe to focus on the text. Yeah, I am not afraid. If I can go to where you are, I am not afraid. Soon I can go to where you are. Now I'm pretty, how do I say this? Like vague on the meaning of this, but because it's pretty cryptic, if I'm being honest. I see it as a way of finding. It's like it's like acceptance. It's like finding peace in the fact that these things are gonna be gone soon. Now it does say if I can go to where you are. It's like letting go, but at the same time, it's all. I feel like it. I see it in a way of where you. Yeah, I think maybe it might be contradictory, and I might talk out of my ass, but I see it as a way of simply letting go of things. Letting go of things, accepting them as such, and giving yourself the freedom of doing whatever you want to do, and to not lament on the things that you can't go back to. And even though the things, even though that time will be lost, I wouldn't say lost, but even though that time will go over soon and things will change, you at least have something that preserved those memories, bits and pieces of those memories, which is through the form of the 3DS. One thing that I also like to do was to kind of zoom out of the picture. Like here you have like bits of the hardware, and then you have also the border of the 3DS. Then you actually see the 3DS, like the higher part, the upper part of the 3DS, like folded, or not folded, unfolded, and then you have it closed, and then you have like the full thing, but with the the thing zoomed out and stuff. It's almost like it nearly zooms out. It zooms out throughout the whole comic. Maybe not here. You can kind of see here, since it has the fisheye perspective. But otherwise, I don't know. It feels like it's like you can still see those memories, those bits and pieces of different times and different moments of what the 3DS captured. And since you don't know it's of the 3DS, you still can't see how on the second page it like slowly revealed how it was this thing that took all these moments. And in a way, it's like when it closes, it also closes a chapter. You also have the sunflower and all that stuff, and I see it in a way of simply it's like it's like in a way it's closing a chapter, and you can see like it may seem like it seems sad, like you have this chair and the table that is empty with all these drawings and the bar and this and that, and it's how do I explain this? It may seem really sad, but when I was done making it, when I was done writing it and sketching it out, I thought it was, in a way, it was kind of happy. It's like it's like the celebration of a moment, and from a Memento Mori's perspective, it's almost like a celebration of death, because it's like the foreign cultures talking about how it's like foreign culture celebrating death instead of mourning and grieving. And I think that concept in itself is really beautiful. I wasn't fully aware of when I was making this, of this idea particularly, but I think I don't know. I just got into it. Like it just came to my mind later on. Well, when I was done finishing it, and I posted it on Threads and looked back into it and thought, yeah, there's a certain beauty in it. I wanted to be perceived as something positive, if I'm being honest. like as saying like thank you for the memories that we shared, even though we will part ways. I hope you cherish those moments. I hope you cherish that single moment out of your entire life. I hope you won't forget this particular moment. And even if you do forget about me, I hope that feeling that we shared while we were together still rests within you, even though times have changed a lot in your days. I hope you won't linger on those times, but I hope they stay archived within, I don't know, within your mind, within your brain, within your heart. Yeah, I hope it's just part of an archive of the times of your life that made you really happy. You know, this is why I also use the sunflower. Maybe it looks kind of crusty, granted, maybe a bit old, but I think as a flower, not a lily, like not like a white, not well, knowing that I used a memento mori, I think it would have made sense to use a flower like a white lily, a flower used on funerals to represent a flower that usually represents like funerals and grieving and all that stuff. But in that regard, I purposefully chose the sunflower because that's more of a flower that, I don't know, represents like happiness or like a sense of celebration, and at least anything far from something regarding anything sad. Unless you play Mother 3, so in that regard it's probably a bit different, but in this case it's I think it's nearly undeniable that you can use this, you can represent this as something happy. I'm still conflicted about the text though. Maybe it's not the most clear, but I feel like the images kinda complement them in order to complete something comprehensible. Now, yeah, I see it as a celebration. I see it as something nice. I see it as something rather happy. Yeah. I think I had something else to say. Well, most of these pictures reference like real life stuff. Well, all of them actually, but some just were taken off of Google Earth because like Street View, because I don't want to teach myself how to draw whole environments just for a comic. And some were taken on my 3DS. I won't say which, obviously. Well, it wouldn't be all too bad, but I think the only picture that wasn't traced at all was this one, except for the 3DS. But a lot of them were. I had to make some compromises, but I think that they still turned out pretty great. Oh, this one wasn't traced either, weirdly enough. But yeah. Oh yeah, these two. Well, whatever. When it came to the pacing, it was so tricky because I made this gap, like a time gap, like a different scenario, whatever. And then I made this gap as well. And now that I look at it, I'm not sure if I should have done it like this, but I think it holds up on its own. And I tried to make it a bit closer, because the pacing just stays relatively the same. A little gap to represent that you're supposed to read it like this, and then a little time gap where, there's this bigger gap too, because it's like we're like almost in the present of something, and then there's another time gap where you just have the table. What else? I don't know. I had a lot of thoughts about this comic. Weirdly enough, I had a week to make this, or maybe like let's say 10 days, but I only started it on Monday since I had a lot of other stuff to do. It was not easy, but yeah, I think as I continued sketching and writing out things and making like mock-up pages, it really came to me, and I really put a lot of emphasis on the text too. I think that was the thing, and the memento mori thing that really inspired me to go further and further on this thing. I also had a classmate. I posted this drawing on the story. Oh my god, it's been 30 minutes. Damn it. Okay, I'll make this quick. I posted the drawing on the story, and like I posted the two drawings. I might show them or maybe not. I'm kind of lazy, but I showed the two comic panels, not the panels, the comic pages on my story, because I was pretty proud of it. So I thought I'd just post it on my personal account. So I posted them. I didn't think much, and did my own thing. That was on a Sunday, I think. And on Monday, I had a classmate. She came up. Well, she didn't come up to me, but we were like discussing different things. And then she went like, "Oh yeah, speaking of this and that," she said, "Yeah, the comic that you made for the school you're going to enroll to, that you post on your story and stuff." And she already saw it. It just that she didn't read it, actually just looked at the pictures and thought, "Wow, it's incredible" and stuff. But when I posted it on my story, she actually read it, and then she said like, "Yeah, I actually read it, and it's really sad." I thought that was funny, because in a way it's maybe more sad than funny. I saw it when I was done with it. I saw it more as something bittersweet. It's like, man, it won't be the same anymore, but at least I got to experience it. It won't stay like this forever, and it's a shame it's only a year. A year always seems like a lot of time, to me at least. Whenever I hear somebody saying, "Yeah, it's gonna take a year," that's a lot of time to me. And then a year passes by, and while it did feel like a fair extension of time, it's still just a year. It didn't feel that long, actually, and that's so sad to me sometimes. But yeah, whatever. This was like a tangent. But yeah, she said it was sad and stuff, and I didn't say anything. I just said yeah, and then she said, "Yeah, that's life." In a way, I didn't see it that way. It's a simple sentence, but it's really interesting. It is just life, isn't it? That's life. Damn. But it's like that. I mean, the fact that I would named it Memento Mori, which is also a name that's a bit on the nose, because it's literally just a theme. Using like a theme as a title is a bit on the nose. It's like I don't know. I don't have an example. It's like I took a specific, I don't know, topic or a theme or something for a project that I made regarding like that tackles multiple things, and I just called it that theme. Just stupid, but whatever. Yeah, I called it "We Miss You," and put Memento Mori in parentheses. Simple as. Because I didn't have many ideas. Anything else? I like talking about this. I really like talking about this, and it's not like I'm talking about. It's not even like I'm talking about something that somebody else did. This is my art, so it may come off as a bit like narcissistic, but these are just the thoughts that run through my head, and I love talking about these kinds of things. It also interests me to talk about things that other people make. So, just in general, I like to yap. I mean, it's been like 20 minutes since I've been yapping like this. I mean, the stream has been going on for like 34 minutes. But since the music was playing for roughly 10 minutes, I've been I've been yapping for like 20 minutes, but yeah. Anything else? I think that I had something on my mind before. Yeah, I mean, generally, people did like it. I didn't get any. I mean, just looking at it, they just said wow and stuff because it was well drawn. But it's unfortunate that most people that saw it didn't really give any input in it. You know, maybe they weren't in the mind in the state of mind, but I mean, it's okay. They don't need to, unless they're like just. I mean, if they're interested, then they're interested. Not everybody's interested. I did before making it though. I did tell somebody that we were talking about the fact that I had to switch schools or change schools and stuff. We were probably going to end up in the same school, but when I told her that I had to do this exercise, this test, and this comic, and she, what I did, it was like in conjunction, basically the fact that we had to all go and stuff, and I told her that I was basically going to make this comic based on the fact that I will go soon, that times are gonna change, in the form of a memento mori. She looked kind of sad. Like I think it was like in an awe way. Um, um, I thought that was interesting. This was like one of my first inputs that I one of the first inputs that I received based on my comic. Otherwise, yeah, it's been kind of bleak, unfortunately, but it's okay. Because this is like, would I call this a prediction? It's not. It's not a prediction, but it's like it's not foreshadowing either because we all know what's gonna happen. But just something that I'm prematurely putting up in the air, not in a way that I remind everybody like every week about, but simply something that I think it needs to be addressed in a way. Because when I look at it, it rather motivates me more to cherish the times we spend together, or maybe to talk to people that I don't really talk to very often, where I might probably think, oh, maybe I should have hung with this person more. Like yeah, like last year when we were nearing the end of the year, especially okay, a specific time. Sorry, a specific time that I still remember was at the end of the year when we had all our exams done on the Wednesday of that day. We had to clean up all the stuff and all the tables and stuff, put everything on place, and then we went outside and we just simply, it was really the last day of the school, and we sat down and everybody drank beers and stuff. Some people went away, some people went to buy a pizza or something like that, like classmates and stuff, and at some point I just ended up being alone. Like I was just sitting there, and it was like I just had like I had nobody to stay with. Everybody was just the people in my class, those that I hung with, some friends of mine and stuff. They went to other people because they spent the most amount of time in this context in this school. It was like the last time that we actually all stayed together in one place and got to interact before we could say all of our goodbyes. I was still gonna stay. I knew that I was still gonna stay, but when I just sat there on the bench and everybody was there talking, and when I was sitting there like on the ground and I tried taking like pictures on my 3DS, something that I had just started doing, not that often, but not as often as I do now, but I still try to do it. It was awkward. Like I felt awkward. There was also like another girl that I was kind of interested in for a bit, like romantically, but I thought this is not worth it. So I tried that kind of to be kind of cool with her. But at that point on, I mean, I saw her talking to other people, like other guys, other girls. She didn't make many friendships or whatever, but yeah, it felt weird. felt really weird. Wasn't weird necessarily, but I just felt like I was about to go home. I didn't really have like a purpose to stay here. I did buy a lot of stuff, a lot of books that same day, because they did like an open thing where you can just like buy a lot of archives from my art school that students and teachers and alumni created. But what did that matter? Because I was just sitting there alone, and that's when I really that's it didn't click to me at that point, but that's when I really had to face the reality that I had nobody, because I did not establish anything throughout that year. I mean, on the first semester I was gone for a bit. Um, at that point I still didn't have anybody to hang with. Then it was the second semester where I tried picking myself back up again, but I still tried staying with the same people that they had other friend groups. That they had other friend groups, and I didn't have that, so I ended up just being, it I don't know, just cultivating something that didn't really exist. When I got to the end of the year, I just felt depressed. It felt awful. Now the evening got better because we went to a house party at some guy's place, like somebody who was in our same year, and I got to dance and stuff. I got to talk to some people, be open to other people, really feel myself, come clean, just simply enjoy the moment. It was nice, but that particular moment I probably won't forget. And I hate making this comparison. I generally hate making anime comparisons, but that really reminded me of how, in the anime Frieren, the character named Frieren, an elf who can live for like hundreds or maybe thousands of years, goes onto an adventure of like heroes of different backgrounds and stuff, and she, with her crewmates, when they all passed away due to old age, and while she was still alive, it hit her that, like, looking back to those memories, she realized that those were really incredible times, and that she misses those people, but at the same time there wasn't anything necessarily profound that she established. She didn't get what she really wanted. She didn't have the bonds that she wanted to establish. So she wasn't, I don't know. There's like a pretty important quote or whatever in the anime or slash the manga, where she cries and she says like, I don't know, why wasn't I don't know, more engaging or something like that. I mean, the first time I watched it was like in 2023 or it was 2024. I didn't think much. I mean, I thought, wow, this is a pretty cool premise. So she finds like a new established team, and she's like the teacher or like the mistress or the whatever, the teacher of the students of her former crewmates. And then they embark on adventures, and she really tries to cherish the smaller moments of their everyday life and their adventures, which is like a really crucial point in the anime, which is really why I really like this anime. Now it's a good anime. Like, I'm not like a ultra fan of it, but I really like it. It's really nice. It's kind of cozy, kind of relaxing, very unusual. Not something that I've seen. It's like a slice of life, but in a fantasy world. Except that it's actually interesting. It's not like, I don't know, like Guna braiding or something. But yeah, going back to this time that I spent just alone on that bench, I think that's really what hit me. And at that point, instead of using this feeling of motivation to get somewhere, I used it more during that summer to, no, that's not true, I was about to say some nonsense, but I don't know, some stuff happened in summer and I stayed alone and stuff, but I feel like that moment And that moment in the summer, and the moment that I stayed alone at the last day of school, especially during summer, I think it was the last day of summer, where I just told myself, there was a specific video that I watched based on how you technically have free will to do anything you want. It goes more into detail, but it was more like how your ego, it's basically about your ego, how you choose to identify yourself as, and how you're actually capable to do things that you don't think you're capable of, because you think you can't do them because you have already established that you can't do them without any predispositions. You just chose to think that you can't do them based on irrational things, based on irrational fears and stuff, and this and that. And there was one specific moment that I had, which was that I just simply thought, okay, even though I'm awkward, I can't really make friends. It's pretty hard to me to establish friendships, and it is and it's gonna be hard going back to, I guess, civilization, since I've been staying alone throughout this whole summer break. It will be hard, and I even crossed some people from my school, and I said a bunch of nonsense and this and that, all these excuses. And then I just thought, okay, but what if I want to have fun though? What if I just had fun? What if I just took the time to have fun? Meaning, like, I would have to talk to people, and we would be like on a swell vibe, like being cool with one another, but it didn't lead me, like it's a thought that never crossed my mind until really that last day. And what really set that up was that, one, since I had been at home for the past 2 months, well, rather I didn't talk to anybody throughout those last 2 months. I really thought like I was like socially inept, and I wasn't able to talk to anybody and make a fool out of myself once I got to school again, and relive the same thing all over again, like having this expectation to live this whole thing all over again. And instead of thinking that, I just did the opposite. I just thought, yeah, but like all these things could happen. Like I could make a complete fool out of myself and think that I don't deserve shit, and try like just mess everything up. But what if I just had fun? Like it's like saying to myself, like, okay, but don't you want to have fun? Don't you want to live? Don't you want to feel something? And one thing as well that I told to myself was that, okay, there was like another context, but I made a mistake with friends that they forgave me over, but instead of feeling that giving, or instead of listening to their forgiveness, I rather listened to myself, and I didn't forgive myself, which is why I distanced myself from them, and I just kept myself alone. And at that point, when I was reaching the end of the holidays, I was just like, I don't know, I just need to get up. There's no other way if I really want to be happy. And I also thought, making a mistake, it's okay, like it happens to make a mistake, you own up to your mistake, but staying 2 months in isolation is not does not warrant, like, making the mistake that I made does not warrant 2 months of self-isolation as a punishment. That's kind of why things clicked to me, and then and that made me, I wouldn't say motivated, but made me feel sort of neutral to do what I want to do, to simply do whatever I want. And then I got to school. I met up with like an old classmate from my old school, and things just started flowing. And within a week, I was cool with everybody in my class. I wouldn't say everybody, but most people. I already felt like it was established, like we were all like cool with each other. It was the second week already, and there was like a master class at my school, like some kind of exposition thingy. And at the end, we all stayed outside. Some people drank some beers. I had some old classmates around. We just talked, we bantered. It already started feeling different. Like, I was already cool with people, like really cool with people that I met like a week ago. And it was awkward. I couldn't really follow through with conversation. I still tried. I was still present, and everything flowed so well. Everything was so nice. It was different. Maybe it was the people. Maybe they felt comfortable. Because sometimes maybe a beginning might influence the rest of the year. Maybe things can kind of evolve, but in that case, it really felt like the foundation was right, and we just kept flowing, and we weren't really serious. We weren't necessarily serious about trying to, I don't know, appear like act like we don't care about others. I don't know, like we weren't. I would say we weren't necessarily self-conscious about things. We're also, well, like to this day, we all we're all really cool with one another. I keep discovering things about others, some details, and I think that's incredible. That's really nice. I remember at some point there was like a certain group of the class that I was kinda, I wouldn't say shy, but it was kinda hard to approach them. I would see them like they were like a trio, they were like a trio. Maybe there was like another person with them, but they were mostly a trio. And really, they always looked so kind, like they always looked kind of menacing. They never could talk to anybody, except in that small group, in addition to other like 2 other people. But there was already like a general vibe to the class that was established, and then you had them. And I remember I don't know, I kind of bridged the gap simply through my 3DS. Like, I took pictures of them, and then we started bantering, and I found out that one of them spoke German. And we started talking. We went to like a exposition kind of thing together. That was really the first day we all talked to each other. And I realized, man, these guys are kind of stupid, and I love them. And we were like really cool. And even though nowadays I don't see them as much as the people that I usually hang with, it's still nice to be with them from time to time. Like, I have so many things to talk about. Like, I did like a small like I spent like a small evening with nearly all of my classmates, and like we were all chilling, hanging out and stuff, and playing Mario Kart, eating pizza, and cooking stuff, this and that, singing karaoke and stuff. And man, and I was about to get to a different point, but just realizing that I really got this far is like so something like I can't believe it. I can't believe that I got this far. Yeah, I mean, just reminiscing all these things, and then looking back on my comic, because I really went off a tangent, but looking back at this comic makes me realize how much I've grown personally, how I got comfortable talking to people simply and establishing things, realizing that I cherish them and they cherish me, something that I've always wanted and that I only got to establish because I took that step to fully accept people, like to take that path, to take that crucial step to display a humility, vulnerability, complete honesty, trying to at least, in order to have these connections, to in order to have people. Oops. Yeah, it's like in order. Oh man, I dropped my stand for my tablet, for my pen. I was kind of playing around with it and I just dropped it, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, like having, like displaying this whole sense of humility, and in order to get closer with people, getting closer to people that more than ever than I've ever got to before. Even it took some error and trial last year and even this year. I think it was so worth it. It was completely worth it. It was incredible even. Cause for that small sacrifice, for that small moment of feeling uncomfortable, of taking that small but really daunting step, I got to do so much, and I got to keep so many memories. And unfortunately, it will be gone soon, as represented with this comic. But this is definitely a time of my life that I will look back to, and I will really deeply reminisce and definitely fully miss. There was somebody that told me, like, that there are people in my class and at the school that have told me that since I told them that I was going to sign into a different school, they told me that they were gonna miss me. Sometimes I feel like some people say it really to be like nicer or whatever, in a way, like they say like, "Oh man, the both of us, we're gonna miss you, man," you know, in a like a amicable tone, like a friendly tone, you know. But I feel like some people really will miss me, and I think I will miss them too, you know. Like there are people that really special people that I met. I don't know how to say this, but I can't express how important these people are right now to me. And man, am I even gonna draw today? Like, I don't think I'm gonna play Yume. I at least need to draw. But spending a whole hour like simply yapping, like this is literally what I do on Yume. I should have played Yume first, but whatever. Because I also want to talk about something else, but whatever. But yeah, I think it's just simply a time that I'm gonna reminisce a lot. Because there was another year, it was in 2020 to 2021, that I spent with people that I also only spent a year with, that I really reminisced over because everybody was just cool with one another. Don't know how that started, but I'm still in contact with some of my classmates, and whenever we get back into contact, we're like really cool with one another, which is beautiful. But each of us lives so far away, and even now, my classmates live so far away. They live like an hour away from me and all that stuff. So finding a context in which we could meet again, aside from school, even nowadays, is feels impossible, bro. So that's tricky, really tricky. I forgot what I was gonna get at, but it's, yeah. Oh yeah, somebody told me, like, as we were going away from the party, like the evening that we spent together, with what I spent with my whole art class together, like as the last ones were, as the last group was getting ready to go and like putting on their shoes and stuff, they told me, like, there was one of them that told me that, yeah, you should definitely like make like some sort of montage at the end of the year, like a video compilation of just all these moments that we spent together, all these times, like all these pictures and all that stuff. Maybe like put like music on it, this and that. I mean, that these are my ideas right now, but simply making a video. And the thought of that, like, I constantly thought about that. I mean, at maybe like near the end of the semester, but it was, yes, it's definitely something that I had on my mind for a good bit now. When I think about it, I don't really, I think it's like imperative. It's like it's like nearly obligation that I have to make it. But now I'm thinking about, how will I react when I make it? How will I react when this will be created, when people are around watching it? I will definitely feel embarrassed in a way. Not embarrassed because it's like really embarrassing or something, but just maybe like flustered. I don't know. Because it's something very sentimental. I wonder if people are gonna cry. Am I gonna cry? Is it gonna be a video that I will look back into, and I'll like shed a tear over? Because aside the topic itself, something about, I don't know, reminiscence and memories and blah blah blah, everything was documented on the 3DS. So just imagine not only having those bits and pieces of memories from one point of view being kept, like being stored on a, being shown off, but those memories being archived, being shot through a 3DS with the worst quality conceivable. That gives even more fuel to the nostalgia. Like it's like a 2007 video. Yeah, this won't be easy. I'll probably start making it like at the end of April or something. We still have like a school trip this week, and maybe other great memories that we can record. I should take more videos. More videos are important. Like, I need to put also a lot of emphasis, even though videos take a lot of space, a lot of storage. I'll try taking them anyway, but I try to put more emphasis on the mundane moments, like people working or just like bantering while working, outside people smoking, or people just saying simply nothing. I'm kind of a sucker for these kinds of moments, but recently I haven't been making a lot of photos, which is, yeah, I should get back to it. I still have this fear of being a bit too bothersome towards people, and even though I've been taking pictures of them since the beginning of the year, it's kind of dumb, but I don't know, that's just a sign that I need to get back to it before I get self-conscious again, but whatever. They'll get it. They will most likely not take it badly either, because once I make this montage, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful thing that you've ever made. That sounds narcissistic, but I know it's gonna be amazing. Especially with the fisheye effect, come on now. So yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, this is what the comic's about. I yapped a lot, but I think it had to be done. Also, why do I have one viewer? Like, I had one view. There's nobody watching the stream right now, but I'm surprised that anybody has clicked on it. The last stream though, yo, there were like 4 or 5 people who clicked on it, and I was so surprised. Why? Like, there were people in chat. Why? That was pretty crazy. Like, how did they find this? I have 43 viewers. Ridiculous, but yeah. So, what do I do now? Well, I spent a lot of time on this. It's been an hour. It's 8:38. Holy moly. Did anybody text me? No, because I have no motion, I'm saying. Yeah, it seems like... Oh, damn. No, I'm just on Instagram scrolling. That's really cute. Sorry. Yeah, what the hell? Oh, new host sweatshirt sound. I haven't been tapped in a bit. Okay, yeah, I'll close this chapter down. I just ended like with one word. I'll just say prematurely, thank you for the memories. I hope you cherish them. I hope you won't linger them, but I hope you look back to them and keep them in your memories, and yeah, keep in memory of how important that time of your life was, even though it was just 1 year. It's like this, that single year was just probably like a grain of sand. Something that just came and passed. Because 1 year out of like 80 is so minuscule. It's pretty much nothing. But it having so much impact could be like out of all these grains of sand, it's probably like could have been like a damn brick of gold, or like an unpolished diamond or something, you know, something really precious. That's at least how I feel throughout this year. Maybe you will have better years. Hopefully you have better years and you're not worse ones. But I hope you won't linger onto them. And you will most likely miss me. You will most likely miss me. You will most likely miss all of us. When I say me, I really say like anybody. And if I say you, I really say anybody. It's like I really say to anybody. But if you miss me, I hope you... It's gonna sound corny, but I hope you just do it. You miss me with a smile. Simple as. It's a bittersweet thing, but I just hope you cherished that moment. And I hope you appreciated my presence, because I really appreciated it too. I loved every time we spent together, every moment we spent together, and I love you. So yeah, okay, let me finish this here. Let's start drawing. This was something. I need to stream more often again. I need this. Whew. Okay. Wow. I don't even know what to draw, bro. Let me keep things simple. Let me just draw the title. Jesus. I just remembered something, but if I talk about it, I'm gonna I'm potentially doxing myself, so I just keep it as is. Okay, Doodle to Live Again. Which was the last one? 30. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, okay. I was wondering why it was so. It was so grayish, but yeah. Man, I mean, just quickly going back to the other chapter, the other topic. I just think to myself, like, man, I've grown. I've done things I would have never imagined doing. Like even a year ago. Incredible. And it feels so normal to me now. But sometimes I really need to pause and think, yo, the things that I do now, impossible if I had done them like a year, like if I tried doing them like a year ago. Impossible, genuinely. Not sure if I want to talk about the topic that I had in my mind, and I've had it in my mind for a good while now. But I'm like in a state of mind where I just want to express these feelings, because it feels really nice to talk about them. Having like appreciation for certain moments. Okay. What am I gonna draw? I think I'm gonna go for something simple. It's probably for the best. Yeah, I should have prepared that. Damn it. It's been a bit. I don't even have any reference either. I should just look for something. Oh, damn it, sorry. That song was really good, by the way. Yeah, I won't play yume. Oh, it's okay. But yeah, okay. Let me at least kind of introduce the topic. Like, kind of quickly talk about the topic that I wanted to talk about. Talk about the topic that I wanted to talk about. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. I have a grudge towards the. What do you call this? I have a grudge towards the current raps underground. Like, it's there's something really bothering me, which is, as the title says it, inspiration. And since inspiration has always been very conflicting to me, because I never knew what really could be used, like what is allowed in inspiration. As somebody who kind of grew up in the art spaces, stuff like tracing and using heavy references, it was almost like it was like prohibited. That's how elitist people used to be. So as somebody as very impressionable as me, it was really something that I wanted to uphold. Like, using references, come on now. It's like copying and this and that. Cause I don't know what to draw, seriously. I just like draw something stupid and edgy. I mean, as somebody very impressionable as a kid, I simply gave into this, this mentality. And I think at some point I kind of let go of it, but at the same time, I still abided by it due to habits that still prevented me from expressing myself the way I wanted to express myself. And ultimately, yeah, I just succumbed to it until, let's say, recently, where I really put into perspective what inspiration really is. It's really just taking things, already existing things, and using them to your own advantage, like putting your own sauce to it, taking something and twisting it. God, I have no clue what to draw. Okay. So when I see underground artists, and I look at the whole space and see what they get inspired by, I think it's a good thing. I mean, everybody has like a starting point of being inspired of something particular and really liking it and this and that. But it gets to a point where they don't really go past that point, that beginning point. So it's like the underground only knows Playboy Cardi, Young Thug, maybe Lil B, and did I say Cardi? I don't know. But yeah, Young Thug, Chief Keef, Cardi, all these kinds of rappers. Maybe somebody else. I don't have anything on my mind right now. Any of the artists on my mind right now. I'm trying to find a random reference right now, but it's disappointing. It's really disappointing because it just leads to everybody biting off everyone else's swag and nobody questions it. The only underground that I've seen that kind of abides by this logic but twists it in their own unique way is the UK underground. This is like my most favorite scene right now because these guys, you can really feel that they have multiple scenes, like they have multiple inspirations, like influences, and that really stems directly from the things they grew up with, the things that were wavy when they were teenagers. Things that are directly in reference of their culture, things that they live through. Just all these multiple things, like you can feel them. Because there's this artist. I haven't listened to him much, respectfully, but his name is Che. Okay, he's like one of the biggest artists of the scene right now, and people really like his stuff. People admire him and stuff like that. And he dropped a project called Rest in Bass. I haven't listened to it. People said that it was really like one of the best adaptations of the Rage sound, which is like Playboy Cardi's Whole Lotta Red style of music. When I hear this, people say, okay, this is like I don't know, the best I guess appropriation of, or the best adaptation of the Rage sound of Cardi sound I've ever heard and stuff. Like this is really like on par with Whole Lotta Red. When I hear this, I'm thinking, if that's the case, why wouldn't I just listen to Whole Lotta Red? Why would I need another guy to imitate a sound that already exists? Like, when it's right there, and I get it. Some people want new stuff. Like Cardi dropped music, iMusic, and it differs from Whole Lotta Red. Whole Lotta Red was really aggressive and stuff. I get that, People probably are still attached to that sound that he used to have. 6 years ago. But I'm still wondering, like, why on earth, like, people want to know new stuff. That's the thing. Maybe people like that grew attached to it and thought maybe music was not what they necessarily expected. But there's something weird about having somebody try to replicate a whole sound. Like, it's like completely, like, it feels nearly unoriginal. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And people praise it too. It's like, wow, like these people say, wow, it's so incredible, and this and that. And again, I'm just thinking, yo, if this sound already exists, why would I listen to it? Oh, why would I listen to this if there's a better version of what already exists? My nose is kind of stuffy. I don't know why. Oh, the windows are. God, this is so ugly. Because what do I make? What do I make? Whatever. And yeah, this is like, okay, I'm talking very slowly, but this is the issue of the underground that I feel like is happening right now. There's this whole paying homage thing. You got 9 victims trying to like copying like other popular artists' album covers and their sounds and stuff, acting like a whole person, acting like Young Thug. Like, you don't really, like, you have no image, so you just resort to copying another guy's swag, and people just accept it because apparently his music is hard or something, which is crazy. I won't even get to the whole pedo stuff, which I probably should, but in this case, I just want to talk about inspiration, and this is where my problem is. Inspiration. This is it's so wild because I think it was on Sunday. I scrolled through my saved reels. And there was some reels that I saved like from 2 to 3 years ago. There was one video that I saw of Tyler, the creator, of one of his interviews that he did after Call Me You Get Lost dropped, and he said that he wants more music nerds in the music world right now, since people are kind of walking away with the bag, which he praises, because he says, yeah, go, like, get your bag and stuff, but really need sound. And he made an example of how 2000s artists, that, like, there was not a one 2000 artist, maybe I'm exaggerating, but most popular 2000 artists did not sound like the other one. Like 50 didn't sound like Jill Scott, NERD didn't sound like, I don't know, Kanye to an extent, I don't know, like fucking Nelly or something did not sound like another artist. I'm not the most familiar with the 2000s scene, if I'm being honest. Like, I can't, like, I know songs, I know popular songs and this and that, but I can't really like throw them out like he did. He lived through those times, so I guess that's normal. But there was a thing where, yeah, this was the thing. Things were different in a way where people drew their own inspirations due to their own unique upbringing, or their simple inspirations where they got things from. Nowadays that's not a thing anymore. You have people people paying homages to somebody who's like 2 years older than them, and that's so insane. That is so insane to me. Like, people trying to sound like Che now, who is a copy of another artist. And I feel like when I see people that one thing that I generally observe too is that the whole underground has like the kind of the same sound of like distorted beats and stuff. That is, you can listen to it. It's listenable, but it's kind of wild how this is just how it's being perceived. It's like more. It's like it's like the underground is not even really something that is simply based on that got bred through the fact that it's just a scene of people who don't get the recognition that they want to get or that they probably deserve, and who independently make music the way they want to, even though they don't get the incentives of the popularity, but still make things the way they want to, and which gives them more freedom to be as creative with their influences as they can without any social pressure. Like instead of that, now it feels like some form of marketing of telling people, yeah, there's a scene going on. Make sure to be just like that scene. Whenever you make that, whenever you want to make music that is labeled underground, like people don't realize that underground means simply something out of the views of the masses, and that's something that you can observe through history with queer communities that were very how do you call this, like, yeah, they were underground, literally underground. They weren't seen from like an art specifically too. They weren't seen as I don't know, like popular. Like they weren't perceived as people that you could really represent in public institutions like art institutions. And yet they still did their own thing. They had their own influences, whether it was through personal experiences or through like artists that they liked, like former influences, artists that they liked stuff. But yeah, it gave them the freedom to do whatever they want, you know. And nowadays it's like we really live in a world where people are really just trying to get a quick buck. And I feel like the underground suffers from that too, in a sense where they want to get out, but they want to get out in their own way, in their own unique way. Or since they want to make it in their own unique way, or just through the music that is not as common as we know in the mainstream. But since they already categorized themselves to be stuck in the underground, they put this expectation on themselves to make art, to make work, to make music that could be categorized and considered underground, you know, which puts them again into a whole category of people instead of the freedom to choose however they are. And since they put themselves into a category, it diminishes innovation. And I love the fact how the underground people who make really talented stuff, like the underground, how it really started picking up a pace, started getting an audience, how we are kind of living in a world of niche things right now. I like that. I really like that, because it's like there's something for everybody, and now it's even more accessible and publicized to people that there is something that people can be interested in. Now you might have to listen to a lot of bullshit before, but you will probably stumble upon something that make you go, yo, this guy is insane. How is nobody listening to this? How am I the only one and a couple few people knowing about this? Like, this needs more publication. And you try to and you just think to yourself, yeah, but for now this needs the most amount of praise from me as possible. You know? Like, you don't need to like the same artist that everybody likes, which is not a bad thing, but maybe there's something missing with the artist that you don't like from the mainstream, that you don't like, that you can clearly find in something underground. Like everybody has like their own interest, which is a good thing, but also something that is bothering with me, which is another topic, is how that kind of diminishes this unique, I don't know, this feeling of establishment of unity when it comes to everybody knowing pop culture. Like, I told somebody today that I really love Pink Panthers, and she said, I don't know who that is. I talked about Fake Mink, well, which also who is also kind of underground, but he has like 8 millions of monthly listeners, But they also said they don't know who he is. Even though back then you would mention somebody who has like a really popular song, could be like one hit wonder or whatever, but somebody would like somehow would all know. I think that's upsetting. That's kind of sad, but it gets me to find this kind of individuality, gets me to find the things that I personally like, that I also want to share to others, of course, and that also encourages those people to like those artists to get the love they deserve. It's like they get concentrated. It's like their niche gets concentrated with people in a dense way. Like they are not mainstream, but they get enough fans to get they really get like a fair amount of fans, a lot of fans even, to be happy enough, and not just like, I don't know, like 5 views on a video, like 50 views on a song, or like on a stream, like 50 streams on a song or something like that. Now it feels like really, I don't know, like expanded. I'm trying to call this, but you have this feeling of, wow, there are more people listening to this than I expected. But yeah, anyway, I'm really upset about inspiration in this scene. I think it's really sad. And what Tyler said in his this interview, he said like in 3 I think that interview came out in like 2022 or something too, and he said that in 3 years or something, like everybody's kind of sound like one another, and it's so insane because he is right. There are some people who sound a bit different and stuff, but everybody has like a different, like their own, like nobody really has their sound anymore. You just hear like, it's not anything new either, of course, but you just sound distorted. You just hear distorted beats, some goofy instrumentals, and some guy rapping off beat, and that's considered underground and admired or something. And I think in a way you could perceive this as like a contemporary way of making music, but man, there's just such a lack of originality. You just never know. It's like, it's nearly predictable. Like, you see like an underground artist, and you immediately know what he's gonna make. And I feel like that's the feeling that I constantly had when the 2026 underground cipher dropped, and I just was so disappointed. I just thought, yo, this is not what the underground represents. If this is the American underground, then I am disappointed. And I'm also thinking it's a lie, because there is more than just whatever I just heard. You just picked like the most brain dead people, like, I don't know, people who lack originality, people who just say a bunch of nonsense, people we can't even hear on the beat, people who rap off beat, and people still listen to it because it's just underground, or what, for whatever reason, or because nobody knows about it and they want to feel special once they start blowing up. But at the same time, they don't want them to blow up because they want things to stay niche, or whatever the hell. So TikTok won't ruin their reputation or something like that. And man, it's so annoying seeing such wasted like the video itself was kind of a wasted potential, because those ciphers are really doors to open to people towards what the underground really is and what kind of talented artists there are. And they picked people like Raining Law, whatever his name is, and Too Slimy. Also Too Slimy guy. I don't know why people glaze on that much, but it's the same thing. Like it's just the codes of the underground rap, but just pushed to an extreme. That's all that I'm hearing. Those beats that go like way too crazy, but in a bad way. They go all over the place, and him just yelling into the mic, just saying stuff that just doesn't interest me at all. Sometimes I really try to be open, and I see like an Instagram post of one of his songs, and I just really take the time to listen to them until I just go, nah, I just can't like this. I'm sorry. Like I'm not. This is not. No. I just don't like it. Like this is not good. I really don't like this. I think this is all I'm gonna draw. By the way, I'm really tired. I hope it. By the way, I hope this says 31, not 13. God, I'm tired. Fuck it, I'm gonna write it. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I find the lack of inspiration really saddening when it comes to this scene, because basing off your sound on four former rappers of the former decade, and lacking any ability to twist what they made is so insane to me. It's so insane to me. And it's not like they are obligated to do so, because I'm not the one who judges the end result of that creation. It's like I'm not the one who is supposed. I'm like a supervisor or like a executive of what they produce. They can drop whatever they want. I just think that from a general perspective, it's really disappointing to see how little appropriation in the inspirations are, and their lack of inspiration at that too. Because basing your sound of like two people is so insane. Probably not the best example, but when it comes to artists that I really like, that really, why you think, man, he really is trying to do his own thing. I think about Fake Mink. Like his music. Hold on, let me save this. His music reminds me of something. Like, it's not just the beats and stuff. I think anybody could have made beats like this. I'm specifically also talking about London Savior, the mixtape that he dropped, the EP that he dropped like in 2023. It's so incredible because from the writing, it always feels like somebody. You can tell he was maybe not the best place. He was only working on his music. He was trying the best to get out of wherever he was. Like out of the situations he was in. It almost feels like self prophesizing. Let me change the screen real quick. It almost feels self-prophesizing in a way where you constantly manifest how you're like the best and you want to make this incredible music, and you get pumped to make even more and think about the people who never really stood by your side and stuff, and you had to do things alone, and it was really hard to do things alone, and it's not easy, but those raw emotions being represented in that small mixtape with like 3 or 4 interludes of like 7 songs or something. I think it's incredible. It really encapsulates this real emotion of, man, I really want to make it. I know I'm good. I really want people to see it. I can't believe I really made it that far to this point. XYZ, and it's incredibly, it's admirable, it's real, it's cold. The struggle is difficult, but it shall come, you know, and it did come for him. It really did. It really helped him a number. God, I'm still on. I need to save this. Yeah, I mean, God, it's not the best drawing, but it's okay. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. Time even is it? It must be like 9. Didn't eat anything. Damn it. Oh, did somebody text me? Okay. Just a homegirl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, from the sound too, there's like this mixture of cloud rap that people comparing him to like like a Walmart version of Clam's Casino. I'm not sure who Clam's Casino was, if I'm being honest, but he mostly, there was somebody in one of the comment sections of his London Savior songs that is called where a comment said that he feels like Devon Hendrix and Drake mixed together, like early Drake, and I can kind of see that. It's not too depressing. There is a certain vibe to it. Can hit some duggies to some songs, but it feels real to an extent. It really feels real to an extent. It's still groovy, and then you have these kind of, I wouldn't say depressing, but nearly desperate and difficult like times. How do I say this? Like, oh wow, I just realized something. Okay, like those yeah, those daunting trials and tribulations, let's say. These won't get ignored. These will never get ignored. I don't know what I'm saying, but like in the lyrics, like in the sound, like the soundscape, this kind of, it's not echoey, but it feels like spacious and cold and, I don't know, kind of darkish. But I love it. The sound is incredible. Sometimes really addictive. I'm talking about only about London Savior, because nearly all of his singles are absolutely amazing. And he dropped so many in a single year. To which point you just think to yourself, why is this not just an why is this not just an album? There's so many songs. Just put them in a public spot, you know. Yeah. I just kept talking about fake mink. I'm so close to falling asleep. But my point is, you can, when you listen to his music, at least more often than not, it feels incredible to see somebody who uses these references and just makes something out of them without really copying or quote unquote paying homage to an artist. He just makes it because he feels he can make something out of it. It's so much better. It feels so much better. It's really fun. And I really encourage it. But as he is, again, somebody from the UK underground, it's not unexpected, but I've been impressed a lot of times. I won't get into everybody, but man, Jim Legacy and YT, what they did last year, just absolutely insane. Black British music. All the influences in the song, the interpolations. It's not entirely original, of course, but all the little references and stuff, it's just incredible. Like, seriously. And this is what I want to see in the underground. It feels like the island that is the United States was so self-conceited of their own artists, the way that they blew up and made music that was kind of catchy. They didn't realize that throughout the years, with the stuff getting worse, that there was a whole different world to discover and the talent that is outside here as well. And the other day I looked back to a reel that I saved of some guy of a Swiss German artist, I think, and he made something so cloud rap adjacent, and it sounded so nice. Like, the instrumental sounded really nice. I might show it, but I'm a bit lazy right now, so maybe not. I'm not even sure what I was just talking about. I'm really about to fall asleep, I'm not gonna lie. It's been nearly 2 hours. It's, an hour 46. Goodness gracious. But I just want to see more influences I just want to see different influences and more creativity using the existing influences. I want to see more from the UK underground. I want to see more representation of the UK underground, what they've been shaping up. I just wish the best. I wish for more great music. I just hope it just doesn't de-escalate to Americans having ownership to these, to the, like, not ownership, but being the representatives of this scene, which kind of makes sense too, because I don't know, like, if anything was underground was like in New York or something, but in this case it's like, I'm here to save you. Okay, I might say some bullshit right now. I'm really about to fall to sleep. I already saved the drawing. I think we're good on that. So I will just leave it here. God, I'm really tired. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna cook something. You see my Steven Universe background? It's so pretty. I might have more to say regarding inspiration, but right now I just simply don't have many ideas. I just want people to explore more and find things that could be ridiculous to use. Wait, who? I mean, goodness gracious, that's not even a real class name or whatever, or like a person I even know. But yeah, I just want to see more creativity in the scene and creativity and more obscure references, especially when it comes to sampling, because oh my god, I hate the samples where they just take the same song and just rap over it. And I say like one to one. I'm not necessarily talking about the underground either. Yeah, I might have more to say, but I want to rest I just want to rest. So I will just leave it here, okay? Thank you. Maybe I have more to say, but we'll see. okay, one, I almost dropped my mic, and I have nothing else to say, so I'm just gonna end it here. Bye 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 bye.